show, we explore the decorated history of Ray Longo and the LAW MMA gym.
There's no way I'd be able to do what I've done in this sport and in life without the great Ray Longo.
It's not about breeding champions in the UFC, it's about breeding champions in life.
The Bonfim brothers revealed a special family bond that has been the key to their success.
O daí apostou e ele entregou tudo que ele tinha, tudo mesmo. A gente hoje estamos colhendo, todos juntos.
And we go inside the mind of the Bostonian finisher, Calvin Kattar.
Whether it be 5 minutes or 25 minutes, you better have your together because it's about to get real quick.
Under the guidance of a legendary coach, Ray Longo, the Sarah Longo Fight Team and LAW MMA Gym has produced a string of UFC champions over the last 3 decades. Starting with the iconic Matt Serra win in 2007, Chris Weidman in 2016, and the current bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling, this small team from Long Island has made a huge impact on the UFC. To find out more about the history of this decorated team, we head to New York for this edition of Battlegrounds.
This is a force to be reckoned with.
They really do have a blueprint over there in New York.
All these guys bring it no matter what.
When I see a guy, I look at the attributes he has and I think, how can I enhance those attributes?
Great Sarah Longo team.
Sarah buckles St. Pierre.
Oh, he got hit.
Oh, he hurt with a right hand.
Come on, lads, finish it now. Well, you could hear Ray Longo throw the body huge right to Danikov.
Somebody once told me I'm probably the only guy who had a champ in his 40s, his 50s, and his 60s. That's where my comfort zone is, really helping people and watching them succeed.
The belt remains on Long Island.
I actually started my first gym in the 80s. It was a Jeet Kune Do school. So it was a blend of styles. We did a lot of weapons training. We did boxing, kickboxing. My philosophy always was, whoever has the superior mix of attributes will walk out of there a winner. Until Gracie Jiu-Jitsu hit on the floor, there really was no MMA. I get a call from a martial art instructor in California. He says, hey, there's a guy coming to New York, teach him Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Get with the guy. A year from today, you'll be way ahead of everybody.
I first met Ray Longo when I was 17 years old. Back then, in the 90s, there was only 2 places in the whole East Coast to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I happened to run into Ray in that Jiu-Jitsu class, and because we were both in Long Island, he's like, look, you want some more days to get some more training in, you could use my mats at my school. And that's how we started to become friends.
This kid was an absolute phenom. Any local tournament there was, he won. He just was running through everybody.
Weighing in at 168 pounds, fighting out of Long Island, New York, please welcome Matt the Terror Serra.
Matt's first fight in the UFC was against Shoni Carter. At that point, I was training him.
And Sarah just debuted.
We know how that fight turned out. Man, he could have got rid of me, man. All the criticism that came, did you do this, or you're boxing, did you do that? He could have easily said, I'm getting somebody else. Because he did that, I would do anything for the guy.
I stayed with Ray, because I knew Ray knew his stuff. I believed in Ray Longo, and he believed in me, and it led to phenomenal things.
Matt the Terror Serra.
Getting ready for the GSP fight, Longo felt we had like an ace up our sleeves. When I was landing, he was telling me, Matt, you're hurting guys with 16-ounce gloves on. What would happen if you hit George with these 4-ounce gloves? You're gonna put him out.
Welterweight championship is on the line. Matt Serra has been telling us the last few days, get ready for me to shock the world.
He was seizing the opportunity. He had absolutely nothing to lose. That's the way he looked at it. Nothing was gonna stop us. Serra's striking was just starting to come into its own. The game plan was never to go to the floor.
Let's get it on! Come on! Will tonight be the defining moment of Matt Serra's career? Serra buckles St. Pierre. St. Pierre down again. Serra is trying to upset St. Pierre. It is all over. Serra is the new welterweight champion of the world.
That was incredible!
The Terror!
Ray, how proud are you of Matt right now?
I couldn't be proud of a guy. All I wanted to do was believe in himself and just fight the way he spars. He fought better than he spars. It was unbelievable.
At that point, our friendship was really getting stronger and stronger. And, you know, we decided to have a fight team, and I couldn't find a better guy to team up with. I mean, great fighter, unbelievable jiu-jitsu, understands fighting just as good as anybody else, if not better. So that's what happened. People would come to my school for the striking. They'd go to his school for the jiu-jitsu.
All right, this ain't power MMA. Get in there. Huh? Longo be sipping his coffee, walking with his outside shoes on the mats.
I remember I was coaching sparring. Weidman walks in. He introduces himself. Just big, strapping, athletic kid. I just took a liking to him right away. I always relied on other people for the wrestling, but when I saw this guy wrestling, it was a difference. Like, right away, I go, this guy's good.
I get to Longo's gym, and within 6 months of being there, I had my first professional fight. He believed in me more than I probably even believed in myself.
This is where Weidman is most dangerous here. He can take your back or he can submit you from this position.
Standing guillotine, trying to lock it in. And it's all over!
And a big elbow inside. They landed a shot down. Munoz is out. He rocked him on the way out. He is out.
Chris Weidman with a huge knockout of Mark Munoz.
So we get the Silva fight. Now we got a guy already like established, highlight reel from hell. I mean, he's embarrassing people in there. His mantra was that he was a bad matchup for Anderson Silva, and he had a really great vision for what he could do in the Octagon. That fight starts, Chris takes Anderson Silva down.
And he's got him down. Very nicely done. Weidman is a special kind of beast, and he's trying to pour it on here.
He went for a leg lock, allowed Anderson Silva to get back up again.
Interesting start.
Anderson's trying to intimidate him.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Again. Wow, big shots there by Weidman.
Part of the focus for that training, even mentally, was not to get hooked into his antics.
This is not what Weidman wants to do. He does not want to get in a kickboxing bout for his ego. He landed that one.
He starts messing with him again. He's waving him on.
Wow, this is crazy.
At that point, I'm getting emotional in the fight. I'm aggravated. Almost like we're in a street fight.
Oh, he just kissed him.
So I sat down. I'm trying to catch my breath and get my mentality strong for that next round. And I just remember him just going,
I want you to punch a hole in this chest. That's what I want. Everything else is good. Don't get careless. You're looking good.
and just like his energy and everything, it just amped me up.
Round two.
Chris threw a weird combo, and he ended up hitting him with a left hook. He just believed in me so much, and he knew I was just a really bad matchup for Anderson Silva.
Champion of the world, Chris Weidman!
Once I became champion, I had money. I was like, let's do this right. Let's have a real gym.
So I basically said, why don't you just take this gym over? We could build on it. I figured that was just the best move to make.
So I just put the money in it to try and make a nice gym for myself and for Longo and just for all the guys who want to train martial arts on Long Island. Just give them a good spot to be able to train.
You know, Aljamain Sterling, when I first saw him, was definitely a super talented guy. You could see he was a student of the game for sure.
Yes, Aljo. That look of terror on your face is what I want to see.
When I saw the camaraderie, having fun, making jokes, kind of like snapping on each other, I was like, this is my fit right here. I need this. This is what I love. This is the way I grew up.
The Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling. One of the brightest at 135 pounds, high ceiling, fights out of Serra Longo in Long Island.
I wanted to be with a team that was trying to push the fighters to be the best version of themselves, and I found that with these guys.
I love you, baby. Come on, this is your night, man. You earned it. Let's do it.
My first fight with Petr Yan, it was a tough outing.
That's illegal.
His knee was down.
This fight's got to be called. The fight's over.
That's it.
And that is it.
The end of that fight is a total disaster. I didn't think Aljo wanted to win like that. I wanted him to win that title the right way. I know it would be more rewarding for him and it would make it even that much better.
All right, so here is the UFC Bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling, making the first defense of his title against the last man he faced, Petr Yan, of course, a year ago at UFC 259.
Aljo, show me that Aljo we've seen the last 6 weeks, baby. Let's go, baby.
Listening to Ray, it gave me a lot more confidence going in, like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do exactly what we said we were gonna do and show that I am who I say I am. I think it was round 2 going into round 3. As I'm looking at Yan, I got my hands up and I'm kind of circling, looking at the crowd and just kind of like playing up a little showmanship.
Oh, Aljo, look at him, look at him, look at the.
And then Matt comes in and he goes, 5 more minutes.
That's what I'm talking about. We got 5 more minutes.
It's just like that loud energy. It's kind of like, it shows in those fights. It shows in between the rounds. It shows that they care.
Oh my goodness. Aljamain Sterling. He said it was going to be a different fight.
It sure is.
It's a different fight.
Aljamain Sterling!
I'm at the point now I'm just content where I am. I'm happy, I don't really need anything. Everything is icing on the cake at this point. We got some really good young guys coming up for Vola. You got Marab.
Oh, he hurt with a right hand.
So really, right now, moving forward, I mean, I still feel good, but, you know, I've taken like a different role, more of like an overseer maybe. I'm not as hands-on as I was, but the tradition and the values that we set up will continue to go forward.
I'm lucky to have him. He's the best coach in the world. I really believe that. I look up to him a lot. Like, he's just a great human being.
One thing I know for certain is I want to always have these guys in my life, people that actually care about you. You know, that family-oriented feeling.
There's no way I'd be able to do what I've done in this sport and in life without the great Ray Longo.
It's not about breeding champions in the UFC, it's about breeding champions in life. You know, a good coach can change a fight, a great coach can change a lifetime. I walk away from this sport tomorrow, I'm totally satisfied with my contribution I made.
Ismael and Gabriel Bonfim are 2 of Brazil's brightest young prospects. In the absence of a father figure, their older brother stepped in and guided the brothers on a martial arts journey, and now he sees them competing at the sport's highest level in the UFC. In this edition of Unbreakable, we head to Brazil to discover more about this remarkable family bond.
A mecca for mixed martial arts. The UFC has returned to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It is a huge night for the Brasilia-based Bonfim brothers.
2 just unbelievably talented brothers making their debuts tonight.
A gente sonhou muitos anos sonhando com isso. E graças a Deus a gente chegou.
The Bonfim brothers have arrived!
Então, eu cresci, na 1 a gente sempre chamou de 1, né? Que é ali no centro de São Sebastião.
Aí, velho, ó. Velho Sobrado está aí de pé.
E ali vivia, na mesma rua que a gente vivia, tinha pessoas que praticamente era do crime, do tráfico ali. E a gente presenciou muitas vezes mortes ali na nossa rua mesmo. Então, era bem tenso.
Se não tivesse alguém igual eu tive o meu irmão, o Samurai, o Odair, corrigir, da educação, eu teria tomado o mesmo rumo dos meus amigos, né? Que hoje não estão mais aqui, né? Entre a gente.
De onde saiu, né? E onde está hoje, né? Então, Deus...
Onde o sonho se iniciou foi aqui, né?
Meu pai, logo, assim, lá atrás, há muito tempo, ele abandonou a família, né? Era como filhos, né? A gente assumiu como filho. Era meu chaveirinho, né? Onde ele estava. É uma ferramenta extremamente importante, né? A arte marcial para formar caráter, princípios. Eu, na academia, desde pequeno, colocar o Ismael e o Gabriel hoje no mundo da luta foi extremamente importante para a formação do caráter deles e manter eles longe das ruas, né?
Então, o Daí começou a treinar a gente pela disciplina, né? O meio que ele teve de levando pra treinar. Obrigado mesmo, a gente não gostava.
E na época, além do respeito muito grande que eu tinha pelo Odaí, eu tinha muito medo também, cara.
2, 1, bora! Bora, bora, bora! Bora! Pode demais, cara! Bora! Puxa! Bora! Bora!
O Odaí apostou e ele entregou tudo que ele tinha. Tudo mesmo, a gente viu que ele entregou tudo e hoje estamos colhendo todos juntos.
A gente nunca pode fazer nada sem saber qual que é o objetivo, né? A gente tem que saber para onde que a gente está indo, né? Para você ter consciência e ter confiança no que está fazendo. Os meninos são homens, são profissionais. Eu tenho estado no corner do Ismael, né? Eu acredito que, né, a vida dele toda, todas as lutas dele, né? Acho que ele nunca lutou sem mim. E do Gabriel da mesma forma, né? Nunca lutaram sozinho.
A confiança que a gente tem, que eu tenho, quando ele tá do meu lado, é gigantesca.
Já viajamos para vários lugares, né? Através do esporte. Continuamos treinando e esperando. Esse é o nosso sonho de chegar no UFC.
Quando a gente recebeu a notícia de lutar o Contender, cara, aquilo ali foi, tipo, eu tirei uma carga de cima de mim, tirei um peso das minhas costas. E eu tenho certeza que esse é o nosso momento e essa é a nossa chance. Quando eu cheguei em Las Vegas pra lutar o Contender, eu tive um choque de realidade muito grande. Cidade lotada, onde é o sonho de muita gente conhecer, e eu estava ali através do esporte. Quando a gente chega no local do evento, cara, a gente se fecha pra tudo. O nosso foco é só é chegar lá, lutar e vencer. Não tem outra conversa.
Looking to set the tone for him and his brother, Ismael Bonfim. His younger brother's fighting in a few fights, but he wants to make his own statement right here and right now. We are underway.
Você primeiro.
Oh, these dudes getting after it.
Jab gira, vamos sair daí, vamos pro meio.
Bobbing him with the right hook. Bonfim explodes right back.
Você primeiro, Ismael, você primeiro. Não para até o final do round, cara.
A takedown to punctuate things. And one more for good measure as the horn sounds. Dana White's impressed.
The winner by unanimous decision, Ismael Bonfim.
O Ismael fez uma bela luta no Contender Series.
The party ain't starting yet, his brother still has to fight.
E no Contender também ainda eu senti nervoso ainda.
Gabriel Bonfim, the family has momentum after what his brother Ismael did just 2 fights ago.
Vai, Gabriel, bora!
Immediate exchange of strikes.
Baixa e sobe, bora! Bora, Gabriel!
And a takedown.
Oh, guillotine. Look, the guillotine. Oh, it's tight. That's very tight. If Waters can recover guard, Bonfim might be in trouble.
Passa! Passa!
Oh, he's got half guard.
Ombro amigo, Gabriel!
Now that pressure goes right into the neck. This is tight. There it is.
Yes, it was a Von Flu.
Gabriel Bonfim locks it up, forces the tap.
The winner by submission, Gabriel Bonfim.
Eu lembro que quando o Gabriel venceu a luta, e eu lembro de ter falado pra ele, cara, independente do que acontecer aqui hoje, eu tô realizado.
So let's talk about Ismail. This fight was an absolute war. It was high level, technical. I can't wait to see what's next for him. Get over here, buddy. You're in the UFC.
Ismail Bonfim, welcome to the UFC.
All right, Gabriel. 13-0 with 13 stoppages. He's never been to the judges. This kid's a beast. Hey, Gabriel, get over here with your brother.
Você buscar tanto um sonho e quando você vê, você está nele.
Cara, eu me sinto muito orgulhoso. Desculpa, cara.
Live from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, we present UFC 283. The buzz in this city is undeniable.
Então, quando a gente recebeu a notícia que ia lutar o UFC Rio, aí eu, caraca, velho.
A casa tava cheia, casa lotada. Brasília, em peso, viajou pra lá pra ver esses meninos, entendeu?
2 irmãos no card e um dos irmãos ser treinador. Esse dia vai ficar marcado pro resto das nossas vidas.
Enter Ismail Bonfim. Bonfim's younger brother, Gabriel, watching in the back.
And when you have somebody sharing these moments like that, it brings you such confidence here tonight in this arena in Brazil to make your debut.
Ismail Bonfim! Bora! Big connection by Bonfim. Back it up.
Oh, uppercut from Bonfim.
Pega, tá tudo, cara, pega! Oh, mouthpiece goes, pega, que tá tudo! Pega, não, bora! Oh! No way! Face first, Ismail Bonfim with one of the greatest knockouts you will see! And younger pro, you got next! Declaring the winner by knockout, Ismail Bonfim! The UFC debut has arrived for Gabriel Bonfim.
He's very excited. His brother went out there, had a fantastic performance. Let's see what Gabriel Bonfim can do.
Oh,
he's got caught with that knee.
Bonfim figures to have an advantage on the ground, but he likes to strike. Pega primeiro, Gabriel. Bota pra baixo, bora.
Guillotine.
This is
Mounted.
trouble.
He's in trouble. Mounted guillotine. Oh, yeah, that's tight.
Gabriel Bonfim in under a minute. Gets a quick submission after throwing some hands in the debut.
2 vitórias na mesma noite e um com nocaute, outro com finalização extraordinária. Extraordinário, cara. Eu queria poder ter palavras para poder descrever tão bonito quanto foi, né? Satisfeitíssimo demais da conta. Eu sei que é só o começo.
E a gente ficou muito feliz, cara. A gente comemorou. E, cara, foi só felicidade mesmo. Tanto minha, tanto de Gabriel, da minha mãe, do Odaí. O Odaí, então, nem se fala. Eu acho que ele, velho, ele ficou mais feliz do que a gente.
Não foi fácil dar a educação que eles têm hoje. Não foi fácil. Mas a gente venceu essa batalha. Não posso chorar, né?
Verdade!
Deus te abençoe, minha filha.
Obrigado.
Sporting a calm demeanor and a lethal striking game, featherweight standout Calvin Kattar has solidified himself as a true force inside the Octagon. Since making his UFC debut in 2017, the New England native has shot up the rankings, providing fight fans with a highlight reel of jaw-dropping knockouts and awe-inspiring displays of heart and determination. We caught up with Calvin to get his insight on what drives his success in this edition of Warrior Code.
I embrace the fighting spirit by remembering why I'm in there in the first place and who I'm doing it for. You either settle for the life you have or you go and fight for the life you want. But you're gonna run into some obstacles on fight night. You're gonna have to push through some pain, push through some adversity.
Huge shots! Oh my gosh! Oh, down he goes!
But it'll all be worth it on the other end. In order to compete, it's a 24/7 sacrifice. The rewards you get from those sacrifices, what I like to call delayed gratification. You don't take the short gratification right in front of you. You put in hard work first. You do what you have to do, not what you want to do. So eventually, one day, you'll have those big moments where it's all worth it. I believe every fighter is affected by nerves backstage. You're gonna have butterflies, but you gotta have them all single file and ready to go through when you're ready for battle. I like to eliminate the noise, just focus on my breathing, remember who you are, why you started. When I'm walking up the Octagon, nothing else matters. It's just you, your team, and your opponent. And whether it be 5 minutes or 25 minutes, you better have your together because it's about to get real quick. When you step in the cage and you feel that canvas in your feet, the lights in your face, the smell of the leather on the gloves, and then you hear that cage door close, the ref asks if you're ready, you ready? Go. It's insane and only one way out. In the heat of the battle, it's important to just control your breathing and focus on what you gotta do.
Oh, he hurt him.
I try to relate it to like a sniper in the middle of a war. It's like chaos all around, but you gotta breathe, hold the gun steady, breathe out in your shot when you pull the trigger. And you can't do that if you're in a firefight and you're not slowing it down. You gotta try to find a way to slow it down and not overthink to any situation and just react. I'd say a lot of it is pure instinct, but you try to train to the point in the gym where these movements become muscle memory and you just react to situations as they unfold.
Oh! There it is!
Right on cue!
It's over!
Calvin Kattar stops Ricardo Lamas in his tracks!
I always have the utmost respect for my opponents. What they're capable of doing to me brings out the best in my preparation, which ultimately helps me grow as a person, as a fighter, and brings out the best in me. Respect is great when you can have it. Not every opponent will show you it, but it's your job to go out there and do what you gotta do no matter what anyway. After the fight, that's exactly what they get from me is respect.
Shot and Fishgold is down. Fishgold can't fight him off. Calvin Kattar by TKO in the first round.
There's no better feeling than that moment of victory. We joke around and say even water tastes better after a win. Feeling that delayed gratification pay off, all that hard work, and it's vindication for you and your team that you're onto something good. Getting my arm raised is everything to me. It's all I focus on all camp. Everyone's always the next biggest one, so I always just say, I just want to win the next one, man. I just want to win this one. You can have the rest. And then I get that one done and repeat the same. I overemphasize the next one every time. I don't give a about the last one. I care about the previous ones. I'm on to the next one every time, and I think that's helped me.
Calvin Kattar!
Well, that's all for this episode, but we will see you next time right here on UFC Connected. Thanks so much for watching.